Hello, everybody. As Sam mentioned, I'm also in the legal sector, a little bit different than what Sam is at. We are actually, my company is called Legal Soft Solution. For those of you who are interested to take a look at what we do, just don't get overwhelmed with everything that we do because there's a lot of stuff. But our motto is basically enable the attorneys to practice law while we practice the business. So every aspect of the business operation is what we handle. Everything from virtual staffing with Sam's help and what we do, we essentially do a lot of virtual staffing all over the country with variety of different skill set and a fixed cost. And then everything in between, from lead generation to lead management to online presence. We manage a lot of law firm social media, all of them pretty inexpensively because we're in it for a long run. I just want to say something in a way where Sam also been very supportive of this, is the understanding of a social media and managing a social media. A lot of the attorneys think of a social media as a place to generate leads, which could be, but that's not our experience. So what we emphasize on the social media is becoming a validation point where you essentially, everybody who wants to work with you, anything from a colleague to a client to, even providers, going to the social media is a place to verify and understand the firm, the personalities behind it, the reputation, their engagement. So the whole concept of the social media posting and the social media management has changed to just be able to, it's almost like having an insurance policy to practice or passing a bar to practice. Now you have to have a very solid, interactive, updated social media to be able to validate your practice. So we've been doing a lot of education stuff in that area and be able to manage, law firm social media. I can't emphasize enough on virtual staffing. We place about 150 legal assistants a month in different firms. And me, myself, I probably have 90 of them working just for us, which the only way we could really scale, because if I was to try to hire 90 people in Los Angeles area, one, I would have already been crazy and been admitted somewhere or kill myself or go broke or all of the above. So there was be impossible for me to scale my own company with the local resources. So that's, we preach a lot on that area, and we have a lot of proofs of concept. Sam is probably one of the biggest advocate of virtual work, virtual staffing in every level.
I keep coming back to him and I'm like, are you sure we don't want to be complete 100% virtual?
I know that's usually our conversation in every single week that we meet. We're arguing how far can you go with the virtual staffing, and Sam is at like 99%. I'm at about 65%, and I don't think I'll probably go to 70 or no more. I still get 3 out of 10 people here, but the other 7 can be remote. I don't have a problem with that.
So both me and Hamid are sitting on a lot of data because both of our companies talk to a lot of lawyers on a daily basis, and we get the summaries of that from our team, and then also we take both of that. We also talk it out amongst each other too, and we go back and forth about what's changing, what are the problems that people are dealing with, what they need. So, I mean, what has been the number one problem that's very obvious, blatant problem that most law firm owners are dealing with?
There's basically 3. Sam knows I consult with several law firms myself, just to have a relationship with. There's always 3 problems. I can't get enough clients. I can't get enough people to help the clients I get, and I cannot do everything myself. When I say everything, means all the marketing stuff, all the client relationship stuff, all the business stuff, accounting stuff. So those are the 3 things I usually come in. Some firms, I work with one of the largest PI firm in California, has like 270 staff, 65 attorneys. And it's amazing that the problem that he has is exactly the same problem that a solo practitioner has. but just that there's a bunch of zeros in front of everything. That's the only difference. It's like he asked the exact same questions. How do I go from this size to mega size? And how do I hire enough people to take me there? And how do I manage everything? So the firm size doesn't really matter. The problems are always those three things. And so it's a challenge, but it's actually a fun one because we help a lot of practices to get over those challenges. By the way, I have a surprise for you, Sam. Since got to be invited to this, one of the products we have, Sam is have some familiarity with it. We create a customizable practice mobile app for every practice that is a complete, it's actually a functional mobile app instead of sort of a useless mobile app. And because of this event Sam is having, anybody who contacts us will be happily to do the entire mobile app for them at no cost, nothing upfront, nothing monthly, just a token for Sam's network. So you're happy to, just contact us and we will definitely make that available for you.
You want to share an email or where people?
Sure. Want me to put it into, can you put them on the text for me, please? My email, and whoever contacts it, I will set them up to receive that mobile app, which is basically replaces a website and a business card and a text message, and enables you to interact with your client at any type of a practice you have.
Wonderful. Let's tap into the staffing problem that I think every law firm owner is dealing with. So either your existing employees are either have recently quit, or if you don't know, they're probably thinking of quitting, or they're underperforming, or you're looking to hire and it's been a couple of months, you've been looking to hire, they're really decent, or when you do hire, they're not sticky enough. So if you're feeling with that, you're not the only one. Me and Hamid are both internally dealing with that. Also, all across the board, everybody's dealing with that. In the new book that I'm writing, I call out that problem, and I basically say now that that's what makes it more important to go supplement your law firm with as many good virtual assistants as possible. And guess what? We're in the golden age of securing as many of these good virtual assistants as much as possible, because guess what? In 5 years, you're not going to find the incredible good ones that you can find right now. So go grab yours, essentially. And again, VAs sometimes are great, sometimes they're not amazing, but the really good ones, I can tell you, are amazing. I have 2 or 3 that are running law firms, that are managing the entire operations. And something that came out recently out of our Hamid's conversation is a performance manager, a VA that can go check in with all the employees, get exactly how they're doing, and also how the law firm is doing. Give me those metrics, and then there could also be an implementation VA that just say we want to move everybody to HubSpot, so let them move everybody to HubSpot versus us getting involved.
Yeah, Sam, one of the things I always get amazed with when I'm talking to the attorneys who have even 2, 3, 4, 5 different staff, even all the way to 200-300 staff, asking them how many mediocre staff do you have that you're working with, and they go, oh my God, don't get me started. And then through the time, they have compromised their level of quality or performance, and they keep lowering it because the staff just don't want to perform to that level. And instead of sort of fixing it, they just lower their standards lower and lower to the point where it doesn't matter if this person even shows up anymore, and they're okay with it, which is a problem, which is what we say with the virtual staffing is a zero tolerance policy that I put in our policies. It says, look, they're not meeting up your standard, get rid of them tomorrow. Don't even wait. I don't care how they got there, but they're not performing. You don't have all of those employment issues and employment regulations and unemployment and lawsuits, a bunch of them for
Hamid had to deal with for 30 years.
Yeah, no good reason, but you get sued anyway just because you basically told somebody I don't need you anymore. So that's been a big conversation with the folks who say, oh, if I get rid of her or him, how am I going to find another one? So I might as well just put up with this person because there's no way I can find another one that quick. So that comes up a lot.
Right. Karina asked, why do you think that they won't be around in 5 years? They'll be around, but less long, there'll be a lot less of the good ones left. It's a pool, right? There you always have a pool of something. So the good ones will be taken. So yeah, there'll be less of them. It'll be harder to find them. So yeah, I'm trying to grab as many as I could. So I take them all. There won't be any left for you.
Yeah, that's what we are now in 6 countries, because not even one single country has enough supplies for us.
Yeah. And then Kalinda says more law firms will be moving virtual in 5 years. Today was the beginning of that. Yes, exactly. Wonderful. Thank you, Hamid. Again, virtual staffing, website development, social media presence, things like that. A lot of things that you guys do internally, but also a lot of things that you refer out. So we have, Hamid, you want to talk about that? Your relationship with others?
Essentially, everything that outside of just practicing the law, which most of the solo practitioners like to do, just dealing with a client and a case, everything else from review collections to maintaining your website, your social media, your monthly newsletter, client retention, something that has become a very effective that I implemented with several law firms myself was building a referral network. So we trained some attorneys who tested this out. So we get a VA and we train them to basically sit on your LinkedIn, your own personal LinkedIn, and do a connection request to every attorney in your state. And then I want to connect. And 90% they connect. And then now you have a whole network of attorneys basically at your disposal. Now you start messaging and setting up. So the VA actually does that, does the connection, then sends them a message in your behalf. It says, hey, John, we can have a 10-minute conversation and see how we can collaborate. Boy, I did this with the immigration attorney that Sam knows. And he had so many booked, calls with so many attorneys, immigration and other fields, that he got so many referrals from them that he actually slowed down and stopped it because he couldn't handle the calls or the referrals. But it was the cheapest, fastest, most professional way of getting cases through referrals from the other attorneys in the state who either refer out because they don't practice that field or they have cases that they don't handle even in their own practice area that they want to refer out. Like this is very common in employment and the PI, where I have PI firms who don't touch anything less than a $50,000, $75,000 value, and they get a whole bunch of them. So they have 10 law firms who they just refer that out to. And I got, on the other hand, I got a whole bunch of solo practitioners who never want to go to court or anything close to it. So they refer everything out to this litigation houses that only do litigation. So that referral networks works like crazy, but you get some inexpensive labor, like we talked about virtual assistant. They sit there and this is all they do. This is the type of things that every solo practitioner thinks they wish they could have the time or resources to do it, but they never get to do it until they retire. So it's a very inexpensive way to actually build your own network. In my own network, I tested it. I wasn't too much of a linking person, and I gave it to one of my VAs. And now every single week I get a message, you have maxed out on your connection request. So it's just growing like crazy. I'm getting so many people connected. And it's a huge asset having that many people connected. So every time I'm not looking for a specific lawyer, for a specific location, for a specific thing, I just look at my own connections and I find 5. So it's really helpful.
Amazing. Very cool. Thank you. This is kind of stuff that I get exposed to on Thursdays, just this high level brainstorming. And then quick implementation right after, as soon as I either on the way home, it's already been delegated out, or Friday morning it's been delegated.